All right, have you ever really wondered what it takes to build a seven-figure net worth? Is it just luck, who you know, or is it something else? Today we're going to break down what truly separates millionaires from everybody else. We're diving deep into the 11 key pillars of their mindset.
So let's kick things off with this really bold claim from self-made millionaire Steve Siebold. He basically says that in a free market, the only thing holding you back from earning more is you. And that's really the big idea we're going to dig into today. This belief that wealth isn't just for a select few, but it's actually accessible.
Now you might be thinking, okay, where does a statement like that even come from? Well, it's not just some motivational fluff. This number, 1,200, that's how many of the world's wealthiest people Siebold actually studied over years and years to figure out what makes them tick. He was looking for the patterns, the habits, the psychology they all shared. So what did he find? Well, it leads us right to our first major theme, the inside job. All the research points to one clear starting line. Building wealth doesn't start in your bank account. It starts in your mind, with what you truly believe is possible for yourself. And this slide, it just lays out the difference perfectly. Most people feel like wealth is something that happens to them. You know, it's controlled by the economy, their boss, or just dumb luck. But millionaires, they seem to believe wealth is an inside job, something they actively create, something they can actually control.
And a huge part of that internal control is being absolutely, totally clear. Like author T. Harv Eker says, it's not enough to just vaguely wish for more money. The wealthy are crystal clear about their goal. They don't just hope to be rich, they make a conscious decision to go after it, and they have a vision for exactly what that looks like.
Which brings us to another crucial mindset shift, this time from Grant Cardone. He says the single biggest mistake people make with money is that their goals are just too small. Seriously. He says, don't aim for $1 million, aim for 10 million. You have to set a target that's so big it forces you to completely change how you think and what you do.
So what kind of traits do you need to support that kind of massive thinking? Well, across so many studies, from research on today's billionaires to Napoleon Hill's classic work, these two things pop up again and again. The super successful have extreme discipline to stick to their plans day in and day out, and they make decisions quickly. They don't waffle.
Okay, so you've got the mindset. Awesome. But that's only half the battle, right? Because belief without action is really just a daydream. And that brings us to our second big theme, the outside job. This is all about taking real, decisive, strategic action.
Grant Cardone just puts it out there, plain and simple. He says the first and most important action you have to take is to stop focusing only on saving and start obsessing over increasing your income. The main focus has got to be on earning more, not just on being frugal. And he uses his own story as a perfect example. I mean, the guy didn't start rich. He was making just $3,000 a month. But by focusing relentlessly on upping that number, little by little, over and over, 9 years later, he was pulling in over $20,000 a month. It's about following the money and always looking for ways to earn more.
Now this is where it gets really interesting. Check out this data from researcher Thomas Corley. It shows that earning more isn't just about one huge paycheck. A full 65% of the self-made millionaires he studied had at least 3 streams of income. That kind of diversification seems absolutely crucial for real financial security.
So if saving isn't the main goal, then what's the point of it? Well, Cardone clarifies that too. You don't save just to pile up cash. The only reason to save money is so you can put it to work. Saving is just gathering the ammunition for investing. That's the engine that actually builds wealth.
And look, I get it, investing can sound super intimidating, but it doesn't have to be. The key is just getting started, even with simple, powerful steps like these. If your job offers a 401k with a match, that's literally free money. After that, you can look into an IRA, and then maybe some low-cost index funds, the kind of thing even Warren Buffett recommends.
This idea of putting your money to work then builds into another huge action, taking control of your income at the source. Steve Siebold's research found that often the fastest road to wealth is self-employment. Yeah, a steady paycheck feels safe, but the wealthy seem to understand that being able to set your own value, well, that has truly unlimited potential. Okay, so the mindset is the engine, and action is the fuel. But you need a solid vehicle to actually get you there, right? This journey is long. And that brings us to our final set of pillars. Building the support system and the habits that keep you going for the long haul. A core habit seems to be this: don't show off, show up. Grant Cardone has a great story about this. He says he was still driving a simple Toyota Camry after he'd already become a millionaire.
The point isn't about being cheap, it's about being known for your work ethic and your results, not for all the flashy stuff you can buy.
You know, the absolute best asset you can ever invest in is yourself. This slide highlights two habits that are pretty much non-negotiable for the wealthy. First, they are constantly learning. They read like crazy. And second, they take care of their physical health with strict exercise. You just need peak mental and physical energy to play at that high a level.
But here's the thing. You can't achieve massive success all by yourself. Andrew Carnegie, who was once the richest man in America, he credited his entire fortune to this one idea, the mastermind. The concept is simple. Surround yourself with talented people who get your vision. Their collective brainpower is way, way more powerful than just your own.
It really makes you stop and think about who you spend your time with, doesn't it? The idea here is that your net worth, your ambition, your idea of what's even possible often ends up mirroring the people you're closest to. Just being exposed to more successful people can expand your thinking and pull your own income up with it.
So, we've covered the internal mindset, the external actions, and the support systems you need for success. We basically laid out the whole framework, so now the question isn't about learning anymore, it's about doing. What's your next move?
In the end, it really all boils down to this simple but incredibly powerful equation. The right mindset gives you the belief, it gives you the vision. The right action turns that vision into something real. And when you combine the two, the result is wealth.
We've just walked through 11 different pillars, from how you think about money all the way to who you hang out with. Look, you don't have to tackle all of them at once. The journey to wealth, just like any other big journey, starts with one single intentional step. So I'll just leave you with this final thought. Which pillar are you going to build first?